Here.
All right, we are going on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan for David Carter, 23713. And appearance, or I'm sorry, detective, your name for the record, please.
Detective Devin Geiger, Wyandotte Police Department.
All right, thank you. Can you please spell your first and last names?
First name Devin, D-E-V-I-N. Last name Geiger, G-E-I-G-E-R.
All right, thank you. And please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony about to give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, thank you. You may proceed on the warrant.
On April 5th, 2023, Wyandotte officer Kevin Koberg was patrolling the area of 4th Street in Eureka when he observed a silver sedan traveling eastbound on Eureka through the intersection of 4th Street. The vehicle made an illegal left turn onto northbound 4th Street. It was at that time Officer Koberg proceeded to follow after the vehicle. He observed the vehicle then failed to stop at a red signal at Oak Street and 4th Street. It was at that time that Officer Koberg then activated lights and sirens and attempted to stop the vehicle, which then proceeded to travel at a high rate of speed, continuing northbound on 4th Street. Officer Koberg reports that the vehicle reached the speeds of approximately 120 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone before even reaching Goddard Road. The vehicle continued to speed, disregarding lights and sirens of a fully marked patrol vehicle, traveling through several cities and jurisdictions in the area while Wyandotte officers provided chase. The vehicle eventually came through to E-Course area of West Jefferson, Dingle Park, where it traveled through private parking lots and gas stations, all continuing to speed at high rates of speed. The vehicle then proceeded southbound onto Biddle Avenue back into Wyandotte, where it attempted to make a turn onto Clinton Street westbound. The vehicle lost control, jumped a curb, nearly striking Expert Mechanical business. The vehicle then traveled down the sidewalk and grassway approximately 100 feet, and then abruptly turning eastbound across all 5 lanes of traffic of Biddle Avenue into the Waterfront restaurant parking lot. It was at that point Wyandotte officers attempted to corral the vehicle into that private lot, where the suspect, later identified as David Ryan Carter, attempted to flee back westbound. Officer Ames and Sergeant Sawmiller were on foot at that point, where the vehicle then proceeded to drive at them, which they had to jump out of the way and hide behind a fence, Officer Ames reports. The vehicle then proceeded to again travel northbound onto Biddle Avenue throughout cities of E-Course into the jurisdiction of Detroit, Michigan. And it was at Mack Avenue where the vehicle again was continued to be reported traveling at 100 miles per hour in the 30 mile per hour zone, where eventually the vehicle turned onto Minneapolis Street. And I believe that is a dead-end area. The vehicle attempted to make a turn, drove onto private property there at the address of 17211 Minneapolis, where it struck a parked vehicle. Officers attempted to block the vehicle in, where the suspect then made contact with Officer Nicholas Stathakis' vehicle, which then backed it into a fire hydrant. The officers then jumped out and attempted to gain custody of the driver, David Carter, which provided resistance from Officer Sloan. While Officer Stathakis was attempting to gain custody of the passenger, he observed Mr. Carter reaching in the vehicle. And it was at that time that Officer Stathakis pulled his department-issued taser, deploying it and striking Mr. Carter, which he then gave up. Inside the vehicle, officers located a large amount of crystal substance, which at this time has been not identified. And they also, inside the vehicle within arm's reach of both occupants, was several large fixed blade knives, a machete, approximately 22 inches long, and a fencing sword. Those were all taken into custody as well. Mr. Carter has an extensive criminal history. He has 5 prior felony convictions. First one is October 4th, 2012, out of 38th Circuit Court, Monroe County, for weapons felony larceny in a building, pled guilty. 6/5/2014, out of 38th Circuit Court, Monroe County, felony motor vehicle and lawful driving away, found guilty. On 11/16/2019, 3rd Circuit Court, Wayne County, felony weapons, firearm, receiving, concealing, pled guilty. Also on 11/16/2019, Third Circuit Court, Wayne County, felony larceny from a motor vehicle, pled guilty. And on 6/8/2018, 38th Circuit Court, Monroe County, felony home invasion, 3rd degree, pled guilty.
Okay. On examination complaining witness, I find that the offenses charged were committed, that there is probable cause to believe the defendant committed the offenses. And counsel, your appearance, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Christopher Shemke appearing on behalf of my client. At this time, we consent to the matter being heard via Zoom.
Thank you. And Mr. Carter.
Yes,
Your
ma'am.
name, please.
Ma'am, David Carter.
All right, and counsel, as to the arraignment.
Your Honor, as to arraignment, we waive formal reading. My client stands muted.
Or waive the formal reading. Sir, you have the right to have an attorney if you cannot afford one. The court will appoint one to represent you. And in fact, you've had an opportunity to speak with an attorney today, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. You also have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have a trial by a judge or by a jury, and you also have the right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing may be used against you in court. Do you understand those rights?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, the court's also signed the petition order for court-appointed attorney for felony matters. The court's entered a plea of not guilty, scheduled this matter for probable cause conference on April 14th at 8:45 a.m. at the 28th District Court. And counsel, as to bond, and then I'll give the detective an opportunity to respond.
Your Honor, as to bond, my client is 29 years old. He indicates that he's not on probation or parole. He does have an opportunity to start working at DJ Landscaping in Ann Arbor. He'll be starting on Monday, April 10th. Currently lives in Romulus with his mother and his grandmother. He has a strong family support system. He did get his high school diploma. He currently has no children. When and if he does get released, he has aspirations to go immediately back to Harbor Lights Monroe for outpatient treatment, as well as restart his AA meetings. He understands that he has a bad relationship with alcohol, and it's one that he wants to get under control as soon as possible. So we respectfully request any leniency when determining the appropriate bond in regards to my client. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. And detective.
And due to the extensive criminal history, the actions caught on camera, reported by the officers, reported by surveillance cameras, lives were at risk with the public. This chase went on for quite a while. We're requesting for the safety of the public, $100,000 cash bond, GPS tether, no alcohol or illegal drugs, and if possible, no contact with any witnesses of co-defendants in this case. And if it's able by the court not to operate a motor vehicle, since there was a driving issue here.
All right, and so Mr. Carter,
Yes, ma'am.
how long have you been unemployed?
How long have I been where?
How long have you been unemployed?
Just 2 weeks, Your Honor. I did work at Chrysler in Detroit, and it didn't work out. I drove 50 minutes every day to work, and the checks wasn't cutting it, so I kind of just quit, and I found my new job. I've been going the last 2 weeks trying to find it. I did my pre-employment background screening, and I did my physical already. I'm supposed to start Monday. It's only been 2 weeks, though, since I've been unemployed, Your Honor.
And you're not on probation or parole anymore, sir?
At all, Your Honor. I haven't been in trouble in the last 3 years. Not even for a little petty stuff. I've been doing really good. I just started drinking again. It was my dead brother's birthday the other day, and I had a bad night. I messed up. I know I messed up. I realize I messed up, and I'm willing to accept that. But Sunday's Easter. I'm the only kid my mom got. 100,000. I don't think it's fair. I mean.
And sir, why do you think $100,000 isn't fair?
I can't afford it, Your Honor.
Well, I know these are just allegations, but based upon the allegations, do you think it's fair that these officers and the public had their lives put at risk?
No, Your Honor, that's why I plan on
behavior?
No, Your Honor, that's why I plan on going to outpatient and back to AA, because I do have a drinking problem, Your Honor. I would have never took off if I would have been drinking at all that night, Your Honor. I had no intention. My car is fully legal, has insurance, plates, I have my license. I didn't have nothing illegal on me. I had the swords and stuff, but I had a scrap load. So the swords and the knives that were in the car, They were from the scrap load. I just found them that day. They're covered in rust. You could tell that they're old. They're not nothing new, nothing shiny. All of them got rust on them. I haven't been in trouble in 3 years. I just messed up. I know I messed up. That's why I want outpatient and I want to do all that and go back to my AA meetings and
Well, who do you live with, sir?
live with my grandmother and my mother.
And how long have you resided there?
Last 7 years, Your Honor. And I've always showed up for court. I've never missed a court date. I only ran last night because I was drinking, or 2 nights ago, and I should have never did it.
All right, well, here's what the court's going to do. Based upon the allegation of the charges, based upon the fourth offense that you are, the fourth offense enhancement that you're facing that, quite frankly, could be bumped up to life imprisonment, given the felony convictions that you have on your record, the number of driving offenses, reckless driving, unlawful driving, or a motor vehicle that you've had contact with the criminal justice system as well. The court has some serious concerns for the safety of the public, especially given the allegations that have been put forth and the number of times that it took to finally get this event to stop. The court's going to indicate a $100,000 cash bond with the following bond conditions. In the event you post bond, GPS tether, no contact with co-defendants or any witnesses, so that appears to be Mr. Jezelo. It's phone contact, text message, email, social media, third party, anything of the like. Not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed. In fact, we'll there'll be an alcohol and GPS tether. Not to operate a motor vehicle at all. Well, sir, just because you have a valid license doesn't mean you have the privilege of operating a motor vehicle at this time.
Your Honor, I know, I understand.
What's that?
I said I understand, Your Honor.
Okay, anything else?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right. We'll be off the record. Thank you. Have a good day.